Hi everyone. This is another little pet thing of mine where we use numbers with the kids and we ask them to generate some numbers for a game of bingo or some sort of number race, and often the numbers have no context or reality for the kids. So I really like enjoying coming up with ways to have the kids generate their own numbers but have a bit more purpose. They're more meaningful to them because they got the numbers rather than just getting a list of numbers from the board or just making them up. So a couple of just simple activities. They do take time, they might drive you nuts too, but I find that my kids quite like doing this sort of stuff. I've got a couple of pop sticks here, just a couple of pop sticks, and I'm going to make it just a catapult. So what I'm doing here, I've just got, you can experiment with them, let the kids experiment, but I just get 3, get a rubber band, just loop it around the end a few times. You'll be able to design your own catapult to suit. Then I just get another 2 pop sticks and I just put them underneath that top one, crisscross. See how I'm creating a little thing like this, a little catapult? And I'm just creating a bit of an angle. So you can decide how much angle. I then just put it down here. Now I've got for this one, I've drawn some series of circles. Now I could do whatever I like. I could make this one, this center bit, my ones. I could make this next circle the tens. I could make the next one the hundreds. I get the big one the thousands, the hundreds of thousands. I could change the values any way I like. I could leave out some of them and just go start at tens and then go tens, hundreds, thousands. I could start at the thousands in the middle, leave the ones out. I could also do things like this. I could start with, as we're working on decimals early next term, I could say tenths. Then the next center could be the hundredths. Then the next part could be the thousandths. You choose to suit your range. So now we're going to find out where they all belong again. Hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds. Here's my catapult, and I'm just going to get a counter. I'll hold my finger down there. Now just be careful at the start because this will be noisy. Counters will be going everywhere. Just be patient. So the kids will experiment with how much force they need to do. So I'm just going to flick this one. Oh yeah, hundreds of thousands. I'll get another number, a counter. I'll just flick it. Oh, that landed in the hundreds. I'll just go a couple more and I'll just give a little flick. Whoa, so you could decide in your class if it doesn't land on the chart, it doesn't count. So that gives them more incentive to try and land it on the chart. Try another one, little flick. Or it's a bit of a liner, but it's more in the hundreds of thousands. If it's a complete liner, you could do it again. Come up with your own rules. Doesn't count, went out. And I'll just try one more. That landed in the thousands. Oh, I've got to do one more because it's so much fun. And that one's in the hundreds. So I've got 1 in the hundreds thousand, or 2 in the hundreds thousands. I've got 1 in the thousands. I've got 2 in the hundreds, none in the tens, none in the ones. So it's a good way to write and generate numbers. Right, we can use the catapult in other ways as well. That's just using the circles. Another way is just playing, well, good old-fashioned tiddlywinks. I can put a counter here, and I find it's good if you have a whole class set of washers. So I put that there, and I just press down, whoop, hundreds of thousands. I'll experiment with more force this time. Press down, whoop, not have much luck here. I'm going to give it a bit more force, this one. Right, landed in the thousands. Let's go for this one here. Press down, whoop, missed all completely. Try it again. Whoa, clearly in the thousands. And another one, I'll just try it again. Oh, a lineup. Is it more in the ones or is it more in the tens, or do I do it again? Class rules. Oh, that was hopeless. I shouldn't say that, that was probably got to value everything. And in the ones. Then I could write down what number I've made. We could write down all the numbers together, write them on bits of paper, create a number line. I've done that quite a bit with my kids. They really enjoy doing this. Once again, change the number range. That's using the catapult and counters and just good old tiddlywinks. And instead of using this, I could also use a number chart like so. Once again, I'll try and tiddlywink this one. What numbers? You might be saying You want your kids to get 5 or 6 numbers in this range. Oops, didn't count. So it's a case of, really experimenting with how to do it. There we go. Ooh, half and half. Once again, class rules. Is it more in one, or do you have it again? That didn't work, so I'll do it again. Try it. Here we go. Didn't land on it, and so on. So that's using the hundreds chart. You could also use a 200s chart, and you can get other charts that go up by in groups of 100 right up to 2000, which I use. Finally, I also like to use things like this, a blank one, and didn't land on it, so I'll try it again. So trial and error. Whoa! So the kids can say, well, what number is that? Well, so could it be if 0 was here, what number would that be? If 0 was here, what number would it be? There or there. Experimenting with identifying where numbers could be. You might say that's 0.01. What would this number be? So it's a whole range and ways of using the numbers. So that's just using the counting charts, the blank charts. I've also used the good old tape measure, so you can go along in a linear fashion and work out numbers. Great for decimal numbers. You might get 1 metre, 57 centimetres, okay, 1.57 metres, and so on. But just using fun activities to generate numbers. We do it a lot in my class, the kids love it. You just got to be patient and be prepared to accept a bit of noise, and try not to take your eyes out when they're shooting the counters. Have a go. Cheers.